Flosstube. I'm Tamara. I am PD Stitcher here on YouTube and over on Instagram. And I just wanted to say welcome to everyone. If you are new here, welcome. This is a channel about cross stitch and some life things thrown in every now and then. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you for your likes, for your comments, for your subscribes. I just appreciate all of them. I appreciate the friendships that I'm making here. And I just welcome you to my little corner of the Flosstube community. Today we have March Mayhem plans and progress. I have my winner for the subscriber celebration and a little bit of life stuff to throw in at the end because it's been a very busy week and a half. So let's get started. So as I said, I've been doing March Mayhem, and that is a group on Facebook. Sorry, words this morning. By the way, it is Sunday morning, March 21st, and it is a little after 7 here. Trying to get everything filmed bright and early this morning, so the lighting is not great because the natural light isn't coming in through the windows yet because it's kind of still dark because of time change, but that's okay. I've got a trip to take this afternoon, so I want to get all this filmed and uploaded before I leave. So words may be a struggle for me because it's still a little early for the thinking. I've been up for a couple hours, but the thinking hasn't really started yet. So March Mayhem progress and plans. What I'm doing, as I was saying, March Mayhem is a group on Facebook where I think Cheryl McKinney was one of the people who started it. And if you're not following her over on Flosstube at Tranquil Stitches, you should be. She is just the sweetest lady. But she started it, and it's a way to kind of push us out of our comfort zone and just make a plan for March. And people there have made their own plans and done things. You know, some people are working on one thing the whole month. Some people are doing a new start every day. Some people are doing a new start once a week. I decided to do a bracket system, and so this is kind of like March Madness basketball, which my husband is very excited to start it. He's been watching basketball a lot the last few days now that it started. So this was my bracket system, and before March started, I had picked 16 either whips or new starts and pitted them against each other and let my Instagram followers vote on which one should be in the final 8. And so March 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, those were my first 8. And then after that, it was a vote between the piece that I stitched on March 1st and March 2nd. And so that one was Words to Live By, and that's by Tiny Modernist. And this is on 32 count Chalkboard Black. This was my New Year, New Start, and there's a lot of fabric because this is going to be huge, and I haven't gotten very, very far. So there's a lot of fabric. I've done the first 3 blocks completely and started on the moon in block number 4 and got all of the border done for block number 4. So I think this might have been where it was when I showed y'all last week, but because I think I had finished this and I was getting ready to put it for a vote, but I'm not sure. I don't honestly remember where it was last week. Like I said, it's been a week and a half, so I don't remember. So that one went up against Gingerbread Hollow. Gingerbread Hollow was the one that won between March 3rd and March 4th pieces, and this is from the Victoria Sampler, and this is what it's going to look like. I'm sorry I didn't show y'all the cover photo for Words to Live By. I'm sorry. This is on 32 count Winterbrook from Under the Sea fabric. When so I worked on this March, I have my notes here, which is what I keep looking at. March 11th and 12th. So the winter of March 1st and 2nd, I worked on March 9th and 10th. The winter of March 3rd and 4th, I worked on March 11th and 12th. And then those two went up against each other. So Words to Live By was the 9th and 10th. Gingerbread Hollow was the 11th and 12th. And then Gingerbread Hollow went on to the next. It won between Words to Live By and this. So it's actually seen 5 days since I think I saw y'all last. So it's gotten quite a bit of progress. The last time I was still working on finishing all the white. I finished all the white, started on color completing. So all of this green is done, all of this blue, the yellow, which there wasn't much, just this little boy's shirt. The blue was in the door and the pants, and this man's pants. I've not done all of this brown. I've just done this color dark brown on this side, and obviously I'm not done with that gingerbread color. But it's looking pretty good. So this one, like I said, it won between Words to Live By and this Gingerbread Hollow. So it will move on to the next vote against what I'm currently working on. We'll get to that in a second. So the winner of March 5th and 6th was Pandemic. So I worked on it March 13th. I was supposed to work on it March 13th and 14th, but I was in Tennessee and I didn't want to take Pandemic. It's a big piece. So I worked on it March 15th and 16th, and I swapped it with the winner of March 7th and 8th, which was Advent Animals. So March 7th and 8th, I worked on Advent. March 13th and 14th, I worked on Advent Animals. And this is on, I'm dropping things, I'm sorry. This is on 32 count, I don't know. It will be in the description box below. Because there are two colors. I have my Advent Animals on two different pieces because I didn't buy a piece big enough for all of them. So these are the ones that I've started and I haven't worked on during March Mayhem yet. But as I finish each animal, I've already finished the first 5. As I finish each animal, I just move on to the next one. I consider it's a mix between sometimes I consider it one whole piece, like I have for March Mayhem, and sometimes I consider them individuals. When I look at finishing things, I say, I finished that one because that animal is completely done. So I wish I can remember what the fabric was. They're two different colors because, like I said, I didn't buy enough of the one. One is sterling, I think. I don't know. I'm sorry. It'll be in the description box below. So I'm working on currently Gigi Giraffe, and all she needs to be done is the back stitch down her body, and then she's done. But I was just too tired last night to finish her, and I had to go pick up my daughter from work. I had somebody ask last week what the hoop was that I had my Advent Animals in. I wrote it down. It is, I got it off of Amazon, and the brand name is Queenland, and it was a set of 4, and they are, I'm going to pop this off so I can show you the rest of them anyways. This part is rubber, and so it's very flexible, and it just pops right on. I don't really like the hoops where you have to tighten the metal screw, and my floss gets wrapped around that, and it's a mess. Because I'm a hot mess when I stitch anyways. And then it's got the plastic. This part's plastic. And then this just literally, you just push it back, push it right on. Because it's rubber, it's flexible, but it looks wood. And so I may use some of these to finish some, if I actually fully finish anything. But to fully finish some things to put on the wall because they're pretty. They look like wood. And once, as you could see when it was on, you don't see the plastic part once it's in the hoop. So I love these. And like I said, this was a set of 4. They had round. They had sets that were all round. They had sets that were all oval. They had sets that were a combination of round and oval. But I love these. I especially love that I could just easily pop it on and off. But these are the ones I finished last weekend when I was in Tennessee. Which is one reason why I switched this with pandemic, because like I said, these are small and I could easily sit at the soccer fields or in the hotel and stitch on this. So I finished Cashmere Camel, and as you can tell, I just literally took it out of the hoop, so it's not ironed. But I finished Cashmere Camel. I love her little eyes with the long eyelashes. I hate Lazy Daisy stitches. I hate these little monsters were so hard for me to do, and it called for them to be done with, I think, 3 strands. Ooh, no, I believe those were done with 2, because 3 was, it just looked so bulky and I couldn't get them to lay right, especially these red ones. As you can tell, they're all floppy, and the pink ones didn't turn out too bad, and the white ones weren't too bad, but those red ones, they were a beast. So this is from, by the way, Advent Animals is a free set of patterns of 25 because it's an Advent. I'm not, as you can tell, when I say I finished this one, I don't have the numbers. They are charted with numbers to make it an Advent countdown. I'm not doing the numbers because I'm going to make these individual ornaments. But they're charted with numbers if you wanted to make it an Advent calendar. But they're free from Brooke's Books Publishing. And I had a commenter last week share with me that we should pray for Brooke Nolan, who is the designer behind Brooke's Books Publishing. She's been diagnosed with cancer, and she has lovely patterns, not just the free Advent Animals. Y'all, she has some cute, just storybook characters and other things that are just adorable. So head on over to Brooke's Books Publishing, and I will link that in the comment box, the description box below. But and if you are a praying person, pray for her. If you are not a praying person, just keep her in your thoughts and send good wishes for her, because I think everybody could use those, but especially those who are struggling with health issues. So like I said, I'm almost done with Gigi Giraffe. The way I set up my March Mayhem, the first round, each project got 1 day. The second round, each project got 2 days. We're now in round 3. And the 2 projects that made it to round 3 were Gingerbread Hollow. It had 3 days. And Advent Animals. Today is day 2 of this round of 3. So I'm hoping I should finish her today. One would think. And then I'm leaving this afternoon to go to my daughter's soccer game. My youngest daughter, if you were with me last week, and I'm trying really hard to say, as you know, because some of you might not know. Some of you may be brand new today. Some of you may have only been here once or twice and sporadic, and you don't know that I have 5 children and one plays travel soccer. My youngest plays travel soccer. Last week we were in Tennessee at a soccer tournament. Today she has a soccer game in Charleston, South Carolina, which is about 2 hours away. So I will be driving 2 hours there and 2 hours home. But while I'm sitting at the soccer game, I'm hoping to get some stitching in. This piece, as you can see, is smaller than the other piece I have the Advent Animals on. So I'll probably move on to the donkey. Even though I've been trying to stitch them in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even though I'm not putting the numbers on. Because this piece is smaller, it's just easier to carry this one. So I'll probably move on to the donkey. And that will be today, and then tomorrow I'll do another day of stitching on Advent Animals. And then she also plays, not only does she play soccer for her travel team, she plays for the middle school that we are zoned for. We homeschool, but the law here in South Carolina says that they can play sports or do extracurriculars at the school that they're zoned for. So she plays soccer for her middle school. She has a game tomorrow evening. So I may or may not be able to stitch there. It'll depend on how cold it is tomorrow night. The weather here in South Carolina last week was all springy and nice. Yesterday it was freezing, like 32 degrees it felt like, when I had to take another child to track practice. So, in the morning. The weather's been up and down and crazy, and hopefully we'll see springtime again soon. Maybe this week. Maybe it'll be warmer. But if I can get some stitching done at her soccer game tomorrow evening during warm-ups and such. I don't tend to stitch during the actual game, but during the hour-long warm-up before the game, there's nothing to watch. So I stitch them. So So hopefully I can work on, maybe even get the donkey done and move on to another one. So that is my March, and as I was saying, Gingerbread Hollow and Advent Animals they made it to the semifinals. This is the semifinals, round 3. At the end of tomorrow, which will be day 3 for Advent Animals, it will just be those 2, and I will put those up for a vote on my Instagram stories. So if you're not following me on Instagram and you are watching this before 5 o'clock on March 22nd, yes, March 22nd, go follow me or just go check out my stories and vote, because it will come down to Advent Animals or Gingerbread Hollow for the rest of the month. This one could probably see a finish if I worked on it every day for the rest of the month. There's a lot still to do. I say a finish. There are beads and there are buttons and there are all kinds of things that I'm not really good at, but I'm going to learn to be better at them. All the X's will be finished if I worked on that one every day for the rest of the month, probably. The beads and buttons may not get on there in March, but I could see the X's being finished. And if this one wins, I could see a good majority of these animals being finished. So I like all my projects. If I didn't like them, I wouldn't work on them. So I don't really have a preference on which one wins, because either way, I will get a lot of progress done on one of them. So all that to say, long story short, go vote tomorrow. I'll probably put it up around, I don't know, maybe before I leave for her soccer game, so 3:30, 4-ish. But it'll be up it'll be up for 24 hours, but probably around 6 on the 23rd, 6 in the morning, I will decide which one is the winner based on what the results are at that moment, so that I can start stitching, because I usually stitch in the morning before the rest of my people wake up and before the day gets started. So, and I've commented before that my nails, ignore my nails because they're ugly and not done, but I got them done this weekend. A friend of mine that I just discovered sells Color Street, and I've been seeing not all my Flosstube friends, but a lot of Flosstube friends who have such beautiful nails, and they always, this is Color Street this, and I wanted to try it, and so when I found out that my friend was a rep, I messaged her. I'm like, please help me get started. So this is one of the new spring colors, Till the Glitter End, and it just makes me so happy that my nails are pretty now. So, I'm not a Color Street rep. I probably will not become a Color Street rep, but they're pretty. So if you are not a Color Street person, check them out, because they were easy. So super easy. So much easier than painting my nails. So those are all my projects so far for the last week and a half. And, no, they're not. Because I told you that one won against Pandemic. I did work on Pandemic. I don't have a cover photo of this printed. It's on the tablet that I'm using. Too beautiful. But this is 40 count angel hair from Weeks Style Works. And the color palette that I chose came from Stitch Palette. And I will link that below too. But it is an awesome, awesome website where you can scroll through. They have all these pictures of, different nature scenes or food or just pictures. And then if you like the color scheme of those actual photographs, it tells you the DMC colors that coordinate. And this one was a winter aurora, not an aurora borealis, but winter lights, but it was all teals and blues and just absolutely beautiful mountain wintry scene. So all my animals will be this blue, and then the rest is it's 5 different colors of teals and different shades of teals, not different colors of teals. Teal is one color, different shades of teal that I'm using for the rest. And so this week I got this bird and started on this bird. I love this. When I had these up for a vote, somebody voted for Advent animals because it was Advent animals versus pandemic. And somebody voted for Advent animals because they said they were tired of the pandemic. I am too. But then I joked that I'm hoping that that the pandemic will end before I finish pandemic. And this is from Long Dog Samplers. I don't remember if I said that. Because if the pandemic continues until I'm done with this, y'all, I apologize. It'll be many, many years. So I'm hoping it will end before I finish my piece. So that comes to plans. My plans are basically, I'm going to do 2 more days, today and tomorrow, on Advent Animals. And then the rest of March will be on whichever one wins between those 2. If I happen to finish, like if Gingerbread Hollow is chosen, and I happen to finish it before the end of March, I don't know what I'm going to work on. So we shall see. But it probably won't be before I see you all next Sunday. So I'll share that plan next Sunday. I'll have a good idea, because if Advent Animals is chosen, I've finished 6 of the 25. I don't think I can finish 19 more animals in this month. Who knows? I could get a crazy stitching hair and go crazy and finish them all. I don't know. But those are my plans. I'm starting to work on my May plans for Mania. April's just going to be Stitch. There are a lot of pieces. Obviously, I only focused on 8 and I have 50 whips, kind of something like that. I have a lot to choose from to work on for April, and I would like to see some X's go into some of the projects that I didn't touch this month. So those are my plans. The subscriber celebration. So last week I shared that I had hit 250 subscribers, and thank you all. The fact that 250 people want to come hang out with me once a week, whenever I happen to get around to this, to making a Flosstube video. It's been once a week for a good bit, and then this week it was a week and a half because I was out of town last week, and sometimes it's a couple of months because life just happens. But yeah, thank you to those of you who are here. And if you've stuck around this far to see who won, I had 14 people enter, and I have this things to do list, and it's numbered like every 3, so I had to scratch out so I could number it so I could count people. And I did a random number generator, and number 13 won, and that was Bonnie Mitchell. So Bonnie Mitchell, congratulations. If you will email me, my email address is listed in the description box below. If I think about it, I will try to remember to go back and comment on your comment as well. But email me your email address so that I can get you your $25 gift certificate to Fire Poppies, which is my favorite local needle workshop, online needle workshop, all wrapped up in one, because it's kind of local to me, but I also do a lot of online ordering from it because it's about 2 hours away, hour and a half, 2 hours away. In fact, it's probably on my way to Charleston today, but I'm not going to get a chance to stop in because I just want to get to this game and get back home. It's going to be a long day. But this week was quite busy. Like I said, last weekend I was in Tennessee with my youngest at a soccer tournament. My next youngest, my track athlete, so she's my 4th child and my redheaded girl. She had a track meet on Saturday that obviously I didn't get to go to because I was in Tennessee, and she did phenomenal. And then she had another track meet on Wednesday that I did get to go to, and she did really well there, and it was cold Wednesday. Saturday when she ran, she said it was beautiful weather, it was nice and sunny and warm, and Wednesday it was cold, very cold. Thursday we had the prediction of the bad, nasty, severe weather that had gone through the Alabama area on Wednesday. They predicted that for us on Thursday. So on Wednesday night, the local school district decided to close schools at a half day so that the kids could get home and be safe. And praise the Lord, it actually ended up bypassing us. We had some wind, we had some rain, but we didn't have any of the really severe weather. And I'm not complaining about that. We did have a couple of tornado spouts that they saw off the coast. I'm about an hour inland from Myrtle Beach, and they saw some off the coast, but nothing that hit here where I am. So we're thankful for that. My 2 older daughters are seniors this year, and their cap and gowns came in this week. So it's getting real that they're going to graduate very soon. One of them got a letter this week from the college that they're going to go to next year, offering her, it's a small little academic scholarship, but any scholarship is helpful. So that was exciting. And it's just, like I said, it's been a busy week. There's been a lot going on, and I've still managed to get some stitching. Not nearly as much as some days I've been able to, because it's hard to get a lot of stitching done when you're on the road or sitting in at sports events, or even just my work has been busy. So I work from home, and sometimes that's good because I just walk downstairs and can start work. But sometimes, it means I'm on call all the time, or I try to set some boundaries so that I'm not on call all the time. But, in today's life of availability with cell phones and email and everything, I think most people feel like they're probably on call all the time because they're accessible all the time. Sometimes I think it'd be better if we went back to no electronics. So I want to do some shout outs. If you're not following Hannah Dowling, she is one of the headmistresses, I think that's what they're called, at Crystal Academy, which is a group on Facebook. You should follow her. She does the most amazing full coverage pieces. She's got one she's doing that she created from a picture that was taken at her wedding of her and her husband. Y'all, it is amazing. You should definitely go check her out. And like I said, I'll link all of these things below. And then Angie, the Hibernation Stitcher. Angie is such a sweet soul. She has become a friend of mine, and I adore her. She's got such a sweet spirit, and I love that she has such happiness and such joy that just shines through all the time. She embraces her cross-stitch hobby and makes it her own, and she makes it work for her and her family. She has a son who's colorblind, and so she's not designed, but she's done some color choices for some projects based on what he sees and what he finds, appealing to him, and the way he sees color. And she describes it so well, and she is amazing, and y'all need to go follow her. If you're not following her, you should go follow her. I adore her. And so now I'm going to leave you with a quote for the day. And this one is from Roald Dahl, and I love him. I love his books. And he says, "If you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams, and you will always look lovely." And that's something I'm really working on, is taking control of my thoughts. I was told something once that you can't control the thoughts that pop into your head. That's just life. They pop in. What you can control is what you do with those thoughts. You can sit on them, let them stay, let them take up residence, or you can push them aside and replace them with better thoughts. So I'm really, really working hard on having good thoughts, and this just reminded me that the thoughts that I allow to take up residence in my head are what's going to come out in my face, in my speech, in my actions, and I want them to be those lovely sunbeams that Roald Dahl talks about in this quote. So Y'all have a good week. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep stitching. Bye.